Hey guys, Malcolm Chase here with LongStickMidi.com. I'm going to talk to you about the ice pick check today. This is a fairly high risk check. It's almost impossible to throw this check without sacrificing some type of field position. So a couple of things that are key when you throw it, you want to make sure that your player is moving away from the cage. They're not in a really dangerous spot on the field. And you also want to make sure that you're prepared to recovery step, okay? An ice pick check is essentially a one-handed check, all right, where I'm releasing my bottom hand and I'm coming up over my opponent's head, clearing his helmet and following through into his stick. Okay, a couple of places where this is really effective and not as high a risk a check is when we're in transition or perimeter carry. Okay, my player doesn't expect it. So I might set that kind of check up with maybe a couple of pokes or a good hard couple of slaps to his front side, okay? And a lot like we set up that kayak check, okay? Instead of, again, falling through the kayak on the front side, I'm gonna bring the stick up over his head, all right? So I'll throw a couple hard slaps, and then on that last slap, I'll release the bottom hand, clear his head, and follow through into his stick. Again, once I go over his head, I need to make sure I get that stick back in two hands and get ready to pick up the ground ball. Something important to keep in mind, all right? If we throw that ice pick check, all right, we get over a player's head and we land it and the ball is dislodged, all right, I can't play this man's body, all right, until I'm able to get two hands back on my stick, all right? They're gonna say I'm using my free hand to play, all right? So I've gotta make sure that I'm prepared to get two hands on the stick and try to jockey for position here and get my hip to his inside so I've got a better chance at that ground ball, all right? The same can be said if he's picking up a ground ball, all right? The ice pick is probably not gonna be the most effective check, okay? Again, because you sacrifice field position, so even if you land it and I'm preventing him from picking it up, he still has the advantage, okay? So this is probably not your best check. Probably best to stick with poking the bottom hand, lifting the bottom hand, and again, trying to get inside where you've got two hands on your stick and you can effectively play body. Couple things that you really want to consider when you're throwing this ice pick check. All right, one, really be aware of his momentum. If he's moving inward towards the goal and I come out of my seat to throw this check and I miss it, all right, he's basically gonna have a great shot on the goal. So that's not a great time to throw it. Now, if I'm in a good standoff and I know his momentum's moving away from the cage and I can come up and then get my position right away, that's okay. Or if we're in a V hold here and I see him turn his back for a second, that might be a good time to throw it as well, okay? If we get caught, that is if he puts the stick in one hand, all right, and I get caught here between his arm and his stick, I've got to get my stick out immediately or I'm gonna get a holding call, all right? So either do kind of a one-handed can opener to pop it out and get your stick loose, all right? But likely he's gonna hold on to that pretty strong when he feels that resistance, so that's probably not gonna do a whole lot for you. I've just gotta get my stick out right away and get two hands on it and play good position defense.